So, a few months ago, I gave the staff a survey. The survey was about me, and this is not about me. But the survey asked, in what ways do you want to see the school shift? In what ways can we reinforce our practices and really respect the intelligence of the students at Art and Design? Because your children, these students, are the best and brightest. I have never been so certain of anything. Well, one of the things they said was, about me, was, well, we don't know what your vision is. And in line with that request and sort of clarifying where we're going, we realized we had a great opportunity. Who here knows what College Now is already? Just a quick show of hands. Okay, so it's not bad. It's about 20%. A lot of folks, even on staff at our school, had no idea what College Now actually was. Quick shout out to anyone who can tell me, who is our partner school for College Now? Hunter College, that's right. That's right. We are the sister school to Hunter College. All right. So here's what we're looking at. This is what I came up with, and then I'll explain the limitations, but also why it matters. Within the next 3 to 4 years, the goal is for every student at the High School of Art and Design to be able to graduate not only with a high school diploma, preferably with an advanced Regents diploma, but also with enough college credits to offset at least the first year of university. And there's going to be a rationale for why that exists. It's also aiming pretty high. So how are we going to do that? We're going to combine the College Now program, of which you're going to receive informational materials tonight, and university articulation. And that we're not even talking about the AP classes and the AP exams right now. We're talking about the classes that are offered within the school. So for those who don't know, university articulation is when a university partners with typically another institution, in this case us. Our teachers receive some training, and then we align our curriculum while still maintaining CTE state approval to the university level curriculum, so that when our students take that class, they earn university credit. Some universities charge money for this option. They'll say, oh, you're taking a college level class, so if you want the credit from this class, you have to pay X number of dollars. Usually, it's pennies on the dollar if you were to actually attend a university. Okay. So why are we doing this in the first place? Well, there's a couple different reasons. Art and design students have a surprisingly high dropout rate from university, specifically the SUNYs and CUNYs in their first and second years. Does anyone want to know why? Bet you do. We already know most of the stuff. And although that's very general, it is so right. Students are dropping out of animation, illustration, film and photography programs at an incredible rate because they already learned it. How frustrated would you be after having been accepted to university only to find out that you're already a couple years ahead of everyone else around you? And the curriculum that you now have to pay a lot of money for, and is it you? No, it's your parents, are paying a lot of money for. Well, that money is sort of being wasted. Not because you're not getting practice. And listen, the university experience is fine, but you already know the content. So the reason why this is so important is to reduce that dropout rate, to represent and respect the intelligence of the students at Art and Design, and to save a whole year's worth of tuition. Imagine that your child, our students, don't have to go for the full 4 because they've already met the requirements of year 1. That's something to aim for. Now, is everyone going to get there at all at the same time, at once? No, this is a work in progress. That's why it's a 3 to 4 year vision. Now, one thing I want to show you is this little piece of data. We haven't had a lot of students in College Now so far, and for those that are sitting in the back, I apologize, but I'm going to try to make this clear. 2 years ago, no, last year, last year, the number of students from the High School of Art and Design that attended CUNY schools was very high. We had 142 total. Of those 142, 138 of them never touched a College Now course. Only 4 of them did. For the students who did not attend College Now courses, and College Now takes place after the school day or on the weekends, Saturdays I believe, and at any CUNY school, not just Hunter, but any CUNY. For those that did not take College Now, they entered college with an average of 0.59 credits. for those that took College Now classes, they entered college with an average of 10.75 college credits. Entered, not having taken any college classes yet. During the first semester, the non-College Now students earn an average of 9.86 credits. So now we're adding these two numbers together, right? After the first semester, these students only have just over 10 credits. And the students who took College Now classes in the first semester of university, on average, earned 13.75 credits, added on top of the 10.75 they came in with on average. They're already more than twice as far ahead of their grade level peers. And then we can take a look at, so that's quantity, right? It's the number of credits brought in. But now we look at the quality. So students enrolled in College Now courses were earning an average GPA of 3.0, and the non-College Now students an average GPA of 2.35. There are limitations to this data. The first limitation is the size of the sample. There were only 4 students that took College Now courses that are now enrolled in university, right, after the first year. The number of students we had in College Now courses last year, total, 17. There are almost 1,500 students in this school. Now, one thing we got to figure out is what makes you eligible for this program, right? Because otherwise, it's just a lot of talk. So the prereqs are as follows in the worst colored font that I could hope to find. I'm going to read them out loud, I'm sorry. Minimum eligibility. Juniors and seniors is what they suggested, okay? College credit courses with prerequisites. So here's what you need to have to enroll in the College Now course, and you'll be able to look at the course catalog as well. A score of 75 or higher on the ELA Regents, and a score of 70 or higher on a Math Regents. So that's it. You don't have to fulfill all of these. You just have to fulfill one of these. So I want to clarify. 75 on the ELA Regents, 75 or higher, 70 or higher on a Math Regents. I mean, there's also a score of 480 or higher on SAT English, 530 or higher on SAT Math. Oh, and by the way, in many cases, this can apply to the PSATs as well, which is something that we didn't know initially, but came to find out. The ACT English, 20 or higher, ACT Math, 21 or higher. And some programs, if they're hyper-specialized, require a high GPA as well, so that your child would have had to earn a GPA of 85 or higher, in addition to their Regents. But that's only a very small few of the College Now programs. So, sounds good. But then the question became, so who's eligible? Well, there's a problem. At the High School of Art and Design, at least going back a couple of years, there was a very specific set time that students had to take the ELA Regents, which is, who can tell me?
Junior year.
Yeah, and not just any time in junior year, the end of junior year, which means that you wouldn't even be eligible to take those college courses until you were a senior. And even then, you probably wouldn't be able to go to the the summer term, because it's too late to apply. So this was sort of a systematic failing on the part of the school. So how do we address that? Well, we're not going to just throw everyone into the English Regents and say, get a 75 or higher. That's not right. But we had to take a look at who's taking it. So here's some immediate adjustments we realized we could do. Again, these are non-mandatory, they're non-compulsory, but they are strongly recommended, and we're completing the outreach right now. So in the 11th grade, we have advanced placement classes. Students in those AP classes haven't taken the Regents yet, but there's really no reason why not. Students in those AP classes generally perform very highly on standardized assessments. So we said, let's give those students the option to take the Regents in January. This January, like next 2 weeks January. That's one. Two, we have an incredible group of 10th grade honors students. We have 5 sections of ELA 10 honors, which is approximately 160 students. Now, many of those students are not necessarily going to be ready to take the ELA Regents, but we figured we'd run a diagnostic in the middle of the spring term, and then figure out if those students have already mastered the skills they need because they're in an honor section, then why don't we create that option as a possibility for them and their families to take that exam earlier. So now 10th grade ELA honors students and others who feel confident about it can take that exam in June. What that means is that those students in the honors classes for 10th grade ELA will be able to now enroll in college now as soon as they become juniors. That's earning 2 years worth of college courses, fall, spring, and a summer term should they be interested. Which means that those students could earn as many as 18 college credits from the College Now program on average by the time they graduate. And remember, I was talking about articulation before? So students at Art and Design take back-to-back art classes. And if we get the proper kind of articulation that we're aiming for right now, and it is aiming high, because universities are very, they're hot and cold about this kind of stuff. But if we make this articulation partnership happen, it means that students here will earn 3 credits for the first period and 3 credits for the second period of their art concentration major in every single major area for their junior and senior year. So that's a total right there of another 12, right? 12 between their arts classes. If they play their cards right, 18 there. From College Now means now we're moving towards that 30, just like that, and we haven't even touched the APs yet. So we're looking at things in a systematic way, and there are definitely going to be some challenges. We are not forcing people to do this. That's the first most intelligent piece of pushback I got, and for sure, people have to do this at their own pace, but we want to make it an option. So what have we been doing to push College Now? Well, historically, we've been visiting classrooms and blasting emails. Please enroll, and stopping in and saying hello, and here's what this program is. What we're going to be doing now is something a little bit different. We are going to be stopping into English classes with guidance counselors. We are going to be providing families and students a map of all, is it 17 or 19? I think it's 17 different CUNY schools all around New York City. Because although we have one sister school in Hunter, there are all the other CUNYs that are able to take our students for College Now, and some offer some different courses, but most offer the same kind of core courses. All families in the spring term are going to receive a course catalog from Art and Design, showcasing every single course that we have in every single major with a description of what it's about. That's important, but then also it's important to know what College Now offerings are available. So we're going to marry the College Now offerings with our course catalog so that when you as a family can work together and fill out a course request form, that you're informed completely about what's available in the building and outside of the building. We are going to be doing more outreach like this. Hey, here we are. There's a new guidance site, which our guidance department developed. It's going to be added into our homepage at artanddesignhs.org within the next week. Also, by the end of the summer, we're going to have a completely new entire new web page. I know, seriously. Which interestingly enough is going to be designed by our senior graphics design students, developed by our teachers, and then maintained by other school staff. But we're really excited. It's going to be a much smoother interface. It's going to look a lot more like other universities and art schools of a high level instead of what it currently looks like. We have a podcast. There's going to be a specific episode on the college planning process. If you don't subscribe or listen to our podcast, look up TOTM podcast on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on iTunes. We're across the board. And they're fantastic. Miles and Amber are incredible. Our graphic design committee is creating new College Now focused posters. We have students who did attend College Now classes. We're inviting back to the building so they can serve as ambassadors and talk about their experiences with our students. And lastly, students who are part of National Honor Society will be receiving that information as well from their advisor. So all of these things are new approaches to a service that we've had but have not utilized the way we need to. Some people are asking, why college? They're high schoolers. Why would you do that? And that's a great question, because our students don't get enough sleep. Shout out to Joanne for being absolutely correct. Our students do not get enough sleep, way less than the 8.5 hours prescribed by most clinicians. I can personally attest to that lack of sleep, which is why I'm in the situation I think I'm in. And it has everything to do with the stresses of the day, right? Our students are stressed out, they're overworked, so why would you focus on college? Well, for the reasons I mentioned before, in terms of addressing the dropout rate, respecting our students' intelligence, but then going back to it, it's not really about college credit, it's about preparing people for what college really is and to finish college. I'm not here to be alarmist. The rates on college attrition, dropout, are incredibly high for students in New York City public schools. Shocking. It is half of a half of a half. It is not what you think as far as the total number being successful. We want our students to go to four-year schools and beyond, but most importantly, we want our students to have the mindset to deal with more complex and rigorous standards, and to still walk away saying, I did this, I got this, and I understand. So, yeah, it's about respect for us and for your students, your children. Any questions? Yeah.
So
Can you also just say your name,
Sure.
just so we can all kind of get to know another better?